What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the G-Rat Show. I'm G-Rat. So I actually wasn't even going to make a video today. I don't really feel good at all. I have COVID, actually. But there's just so much crazy stuff going around with Barcelona. I feel like I just had to comment. I had to make a video. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me right now. I don't really feel all the best, to be completely honest. But there's just so much. I mean, with Gundogan now leaving, it's official. He's out. It's going back to Man City for free. And then now it looks like, oh, Barcelona is all in on Rafael Leão, or they want to go for Federico Chiesa if they can't make that happen. So we got to touch on this. Which one makes more sense if they can even complete a transfer at this time? And then we got to talk about Barcelona and registering Dani Olmo, and then what just happened with Vitor Roque too. But I want to talk to you guys first on Rafael Leão and Chiesa, because you guys already know my stance on Gundogan for the most part. I made a video like yesterday or the day before, so we will touch on that, but at the end of the video. So let's jump in and discuss what's going on right now with these different transfer rumors. So now all of a sudden, they're all in on Rafael Leão, Barcelona. Now, my issue is you can't even register Dani Olmo, and you still want Nico Williams, who would have been roughly like 50 to 60 million. I don't know the reason he still isn't joining. Would it be because he knows he wouldn't be able to get registered in time? Can they not really afford it? Does he just not want to come? But now you want to get a more expensive player. Now, all over Twitter, they're saying, oh, Rafael Leão is a 175 million euro player. He's not. From a talent perspective, he's great. He's fantastic. But from a productivity standpoint and someone that's an attacking player that isn't scoring 25, 30 plus goals a season like Mbappe or Haaland, you cannot be worth that much money. But looking at this report right here, it looks like there's a chance they could maybe sign him for like 70 to 80 million euros. But even that, if you can't get Nico, you're not going to be able to afford him. So I'm 100% for it if it's financially doable, but it's obviously not. So I feel like we can't even plan for this or even think about it because it's not going to happen. He's what, like 25? And I think if you sign Leao, that's you're locked in long term, right? It's at least, I feel like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But yeah, he's pretty young enough. I just don't think it's happening. Do I want it to? Yes. Will it happen? I don't think so. Now, Chiesa, on the other hand, is 26. And yes, I knew he did have that one bigger injury like 2 seasons ago. And I'll be completely honest, I've never followed Serie A that much. I've seen him play in the Champions League. I've seen him play in the Euros. He's a very good player, don't get me wrong. So I can't speak on that as much, right? I think Rafael Leão, I know more about him. I've seen him more. He was good in the Euros in certain matches. I think it was against France. He was torching that left side of France and was able to create tons of opportunities that entire match. And he's so fast, skilled, strong. Chiesa, on the other hand, isn't exactly like that, but the thing is with him, 15 million. I think if you go that route, 15 to 20 million is probably doable for Barcelona. And the thing is, you don't have to lock him in long term. What I mean by that is, I don't know how much they would pay him from a salary, but if you're only spending 15 million to get Chiesa, that's not something where it's like, oh, wow, we're spending 100 million. We're locked into him for, 5, 6 years. We're not going to be able to get anyone else. I think if you get him, you can still maybe shop around for the next year or two and try and find a different left winger. Maybe even go after Nico Williams again if you want, because that's a pretty cheap transfer for a player of that caliber and who's only 26. So I think it's actually the smarter move of the two. It's just if he stays healthy and then how much of a salary is he going to get. So I think if we're picking between the two, I want Leao, but from a realistic standpoint, Chiesa I think is a better option. So let me know what you guys think about these two options down below, and if Barcelona can even make one of these options happen. So as I mentioned, it looks like even with getting rid of Gundogan and them paying all of his salary, it looks like Barca still can't even register Dani Olmo. It looks like Barca and Real Betis have completed the loan option for Vitor Roque. Now, I actually think that's a good move for him. They didn't sell him, which means he can come back to Barca. And I think that's a good move for him because he's not at a club like a top tier club where he might not play. I think he plays a lot here, gains a lot of experience, which is why I think it's smart for Barcelona to loan him out first and foremost, rather than selling him. Loaning him to a club like this, he's going to get a lot of playing time. So I think that's really smart. And it looks like they're also going to be paying almost all of his salary. But even with that, it doesn't look like Barcelona is going to be able to register Dani Olmo. They still, I think, have to sell one more player or make this Nike deal happen. So this is just maddening. I mean, you go and make this huge signing, and did they know deep down that they were going to lose Gundogan in the process of signing Dani Olmo? I have no idea. But I hope this gets figured out, because now that Gundogan's gone, you need Dani Olmo. I mean, he's basically the direct replacement for him. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how this I don't know how this plays out. I just feel like this is just a circus almost right now. So I'm just enjoying the ride, and I'm not going to get too upset about it. Now, the Gundogan situation, again. So I started this channel because I love football more than anything. I love to talk about it. They're just my opinions. They're not right. They're not wrong. They're just my thoughts and opinions. So maybe you agree, maybe you don't, and that's fine. I think this Gundogan situation I don't think it's right. I understand when other people are like, well, he doesn't fit in the Flick system. He's older, this and that. I agree with that, but I also don't, because he's still one of the better players in the squad. He was great in the Euros. He was solid last year. He was consistent, and he didn't get injured. Yeah, he's a little older, but my thing is there's going to be injuries. I don't feel confident that this team is going to stay healthy. Frankie will get injured, and who knows when he's even going to play. Pedri will get injured. We won't get 100% Gavi for at least, I feel like, 3 or 4 months. Fermin Lopez is, I like Fermin a lot. We'll just see how much he plays, because he really didn't play as much until towards the end of last year, like the second half of the season. And then Dani Olmo has proven that he's gotten injured here and there. And Gundogan could have been that one constant within the squad. I was really excited to see him link up with Lewandowski, play more of that attacking type of role, work under Flick and his tactics. I was excited, and now it's gone. I mean, I'm happy for him, to be honest, though, because I was a big fan of Gundogan, and I actually don't mind Manchester City. I watch quite a bit. Kevin De Bruyne is one of my favorite players. I really like Bernardo Silva a lot, so I actually don't dislike City, so I'm happy for him that he's going to get a chance to, compete for a treble again. Maybe win the Champions League. I mean, I don't think Barcelona is going to win the Champions League. They're not going to win a treble. It's the end of his career. He just announced the other day that he's retiring from the German national team. This is a good chance for him, I think, to end his competitive career on a high note. I think it sucks that it's not Barcelona, because it seemed like last year he joined because he said this was, the club he wanted to play for. And I think it's an amicable separation between Barcelona and him, because it does seem like this is happening because of a financial reason, but I just still can't get over the fact that Barcelona, a club of this status, is having this much trouble signing any players, registering players. It's a shitty situation. It sucks. I'm kind of pissed from it, because I was a big fan of Gundogan, one of my favorite players. But I guess, what's done is done. You can't dwell on it. I just hope we can sign a left winger and register Dani Olmo, and hopefully we can start building with the right players and work under this Flick system and see what happens. Joao Cancelo looks like he's not going to be joining Barcelona. They don't want to pay his, I think it's 12 million salary, or it was either a 12 million release clause. It was one of the two, but doesn't look like Barcelona will continue with him. So that might be a little bit of a loss too, but it is what it is. Barca's going to have to fight. It's going to be a tough season. Hopefully they don't have many big injuries, and hopefully Flick's tactics work really well and they can have a great season. So let me know your thoughts about everything we discussed in this video. And if you guys made it this far, again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. I think Saturday, by the way, I'm going to try and live stream that match. So tune into that. We can talk live, chat. So look forward to that, and we'll see you guys back here next time on the G-Red Show.